All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, council. I'm going to call this meeting to order. We have an agenda before us. I'm just wondering if there's any additions to the agenda. Not seeing none. Any from council? All right, I need a motion to adopt the agenda, please. Thank you, Councillor DeShane, for making that motion. That council approves adoption of the agenda as presented. Any discussion, councillors? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. We'll see whose computers are working today. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. All right, I need the adoption of the minutes of regular meeting of council, April 28th, 2026. Thank you, Councillor Crick, for making that motion. That council approves adoption of the minutes of April 28th, 2026, regular meeting of council as presented. Are you up and?
Yeah. It's
Not,
it's still.
okay, all those in favor? That's carried, thank you. Our public hearing isn't, oh, we do have that too. We're making it difficult for you girls this morning, sorry. That was Councillor Crick that made, it never came back up on my, that's correct, right? My thing doesn't say even his name yet. What's that? Your computer? Everything's not good? Okay, that was a joke, I shouldn't have said it. Anybody have a hammer in the back of the truck or anything in the, out in the parking lot? You do? Okay. Ed too? Oh, well, we better not. Jerry would be mad at me. Well, we're going to take a 5-minute break. How's that sound? All right. We're out. Thank you, Jerry. Appreciate that. All right, we're going to go on to 7 point. By the way, that regular meeting adoption of the minutes was carried. We're going on to development application 7.1. Morning.
Good morning, Reeve Council. This is development permit application 2026-D-052 for Stillwater Ranches, Caitlin and Curtis Gullickson. The applicant is applying for an intensive agricultural use for a U-Pick strawberry farm. The property is located on the northeast shore of Angling Lake, half a mile north of the hamlet of Beaver Dam. Adjacent properties are a residential parcel, a vacant 2.75 acre parcel, quarter section, and remnants. The applicant would like to operate a U-Pick strawberry farm at their quarter section remnant at Angling Lake. They have an existing garage for equipment and will create a parking area north of it. They will operate June to October, open 2 to 3 days a week from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. They hope to serve 5 to 15 people per day, depending on the productivity of the fields. If feasible, they would also like to include a farm stand for other products with this use. They have applied for a new approach permit as this driveway currently runs through a separate lot, and they are required to have legal access to this development. Adjacent landowner letters were sent out April 21st, 2026, and we did not receive any concerns. Our recommendation for development application 2026-D-052 is approve the request for an intensive agricultural use for a U-Pick strawberry farm as a discretionary use as per Part 6 and Part 7, Section 7.3.2 of the Land Use Bylaw with the following conditions. As per Section 7.3.6 of the Land Use Bylaw 1915, the minimum setback shall be 38 meters from the center line of the adjacent public road, side yard 6 meters, rear yard 6 meters. As per Section 6.13, no development shall be permitted within the 1 and 100-year floodplain of a water body or water course or otherwise prone to flooding or subsidence unless the applicant demonstrates that to the satisfaction of the development authority that preventative engineering and construction measures can be used to make the site suitable. As per Section 6.2.3, adequate on-site parking shall be provided as required by the development authority. Any questions?
Sorry, I just crashed. Go ahead, Counselor Crick.
Through the Reeve to planning. Oh, sorry. I didn't see you.
Sorry, Counselor Crick, then Counselor Palmer, please.
Well, I was just going to make the motion. I think it's a great to see another strawberry farm coming in the area. And I did have the honor to taste one of those strawberries last fall. It's kind of a neat variety. I think they're growing too, that they can grow right till we get some good frost. So I think it's a great idea. I'll make the motion to approve it.
Right, thank you, Counselor Crick, for making this motion. Just bringing it up here, sorry, I crashed. Thank you. No, that's not it. It's okay. I got it. Thank you, Counselor Crick, for making this motion. The council approve the development permit application number 2026D-52 for intensive agricultural use for a U-Pick strawberry farm at Southeast 2563 west of the 4th Meridian as discretionary use as per Part 6 General Regulations and Part 7 Section 732 of the Land Use Bylaw with the following conditions before you, council. Any discussion, Caroline? Go ahead.
I just had a quick question through the Reeve to planning. Were they applying at some point in the future for any development of buildings to be able to operate?
Through the Reeve to Councillor Palmer. So, so far that this is their whole development so far. So in the future, if they do want to expand, they will have to come back to council.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you're, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, go
So
ahead.
you don't want them to put the strawberry farm in the body or water course, right?
Right.
Okay, perfect. I just wasn't sure if they had intended to add any additional buildings to operate the U-Pick farm. Perfect. Thank you.
Deputy Reeve Fadeev.
Good morning. So there's just one neighbor right across the road, from what I can kind of tell.
That is correct.
And could somebody tell me what kind of road that is? Is that a coal mix road or is that gravel? Gravel road?
That's a gravel road, for sure, yeah.
Go ahead.
It's cold mixed in front of there, though. It's kind of beat up, though. Why is it the green lines that come down, why is it shaped like that? Why doesn't that go right across?
So that above the yellow square is the little tiny parcel. It is in their name,
Yeah.
but it is its own standalone parcel.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Does that have the little house, like the old garage that I think Kevin, their uncle rebuilt that place, no?
No, the garage is in the yellow.
In the yellow, so
section.
that'll be their one primary building and there's a old house in there, correct?
I don't think the house is there anymore.
Oh, they might have knocked her down? Okay. I never knew that. I've been on that corridor many times.
They have talked to me about what they have to do to consolidate that lot into the rest
Okay.
of the parcel.
Yeah, because I think Kevin owned and he sold it to the young couple there, right on. Any other discussion on this motion? Okay, I'm seeing none. I'll call for the vote. That's carried. We're back in action.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to 9.2.
Good morning.
Morning, ladies.
Administration is seeking approval to remove the municipal reserve designation from Plan 062-1293, Block 1, Lot 1, MR within Southeast 10-616 west of the 4th Meridian to address access to Southeast 10-616 west of the 4th. As presented at the April 21st, 2026 Committee of the Whole meeting, the owner of the quarter section has expressed interest in returning the property to agricultural use, as they do not intend to develop it under the current area structure plan and land use zoning. The parcel does not currently have physical access to Township Road 611A. To address this, council may consider removing the municipal reserve designation from Plan 062-1293, Block 1, Lot 1, MR, selling it to the landowner where it will then be consolidated into the larger remnant portion of the quarter section to provide access. If directed, administration will proceed with a public hearing in accordance with the Municipal Government Act, including the required advertising and on-site notice. Following the public hearing, council may direct administration to request to the registrar removal of the municipal reserve designation.
Thank you. Would someone like to make a motion? Counselor DeShane? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to make that motion. Option number 1, please.
Okay, thank you, Counselor DeShane, for making this motion that council directs administration to proceed with the removal process for the municipal reserve, the MR designation from Plan 062-1293, Block 1, Lot 1, MR, and the sale of the parcel to the registered landowner of Southeast 10616 west of the 4th Meridian, subject to a parcel being consolidated into Southeast 1061-6 west of the 4th Meridian. Any discussion on this motion? Counselor DeShane?
Yes, I'm not always in favor of selling these road allowances to private residents, but in this case, it's actually not a MD right-of-way. It was a right-of-way produced for this land, but yeah, I'm in agreement with it, but if it's going back into the parcel, we're happy for that.
All right, thank you, Counselor DeShane. Any other discussion? I'm seeing none. I'll call for the vote, please. That's carried. Thank you. Thank you, ladies. I think we're getting pretty close to 9:30 here. How long will your chief 9.3 take? Two minutes? Okay, come on up. 9.3.1. Morning.
Good morning, Council. It's a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to have you.
Before you this morning, we have the RFD with regards to the Investment Attraction Action Plan. Administration has developed an Investment Attraction Action Plan for Council's consideration, tailored to the unique and rural nature of the MD and its business community. The action plan was created to support and grow local business and industry. Moving forward, the business and industry growth strategy presented in 2022, the IAAP will provide the next steps for growth, identifying the community's competitive advantage, developing an industry target list and investment-ready sites, defining investment attraction objectives, as well as identifying policies and procedures that support investment attraction. The IAAP will determine, implement, monitor, and evaluate and adjust investment attraction tactics. The purpose of the Investment Attraction Action Plan is to provide the analysis, strategy, and tools required to attract suitable, desired, and complementary investment to the MD of Bonnyville. Due to a variety of factors identified in the Regional Economic Development Plan Technical Report, the energy sector, proteins, agriculture, technology sector, tourism and quality of life or place, sector, renewable technology sector, and Canadian Armed Forces procurement sector, and foreign direct investment, where applicable, will be the key focus of the investment attraction action strategy. Increased investment will result in a stronger tax base, increased employment opportunities, and the development of clusters and value chains that will diversify and strengthen the local economy. Attached for your review was the proposed Investment Attraction Action Plan. Reference to the strategic plan. Goal number 1, building a prosperous and sustainable community. The objective to develop economic development strategy inclusive of business attraction, retention, and expansion. Costs associated or sources of the funding, costs associated with the implementation of the IAP have been included in the 2026 Economic Development Department budget. Economic Development has applied for, and in this case received several grants already from both the federal and provincial government. From a community, or a communication strategy perspective, economic development will work with marketing communications to post the approved document where applicable related to MD, social media policies and procedures. At this point in time, the recommendation is that Council adopts the Municipal District of Bonnyville Investment Attraction Action Plan as recommended by the Committee of Whole.
Thank you. Who would like to make a motion or any comments? Go ahead, Caroline.
Just in review of the plan itself, it definitely covers all aspects of marketing the MD of Bonnyville for future growth. So it's a great plan put together.
Would you like to make the motion?
I can make the motion to move
All
forward.
right, thank you, Councillor Palmer, for making the motion. The Council adopts the Municipal District of Bonnyville Investment Attraction Action Plan as recommended by the Committee of the Whole. Any discussion, Council? I'm not seeing it. I'll call for the vote. That's carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, at this time, I'd like a motion to go into a public hearing. I'll make that motion. Thank you, Councillor Deschênes, for making that motion that the public hearing for the item 4.1 bylaw number 1930 road closure and disposal be open at the time 9:31 a.m. Any discussion on this motion? I'm seeing none. I'll call for the vote. Sorry. Oh, go ahead, Councillor Palmer.
So I'm just looking at the adjacent landowner comments. Was there? This is the motion just to go into the. Oh, yes, I make motion to go into camera.
Okay,
into
we've
public
done
hearing.
that already. We're just voting on the,
Is that what this is?
yeah,
Okay, sorry.
sorry.
Missed a step.
It's okay.
Can I go ahead with the question? Are we there yet?
I think we just voted on it. Yeah,
We voted to go into public
we're going
hearing.
into public hearing. So. Okay, technology. Okay, that's carried. Caroline, you'll have to bring it up while we're in. I'm gonna start. Before we begin the public hearing for bylaw number 1930, road closure and disposal, I would like to announce that this public hearing will include both in-person and electronic participation as being recorded and will be accessible for public viewing. Additionally, I would like to remind in-person attendees who wish to address any of the public hearing on today's agenda to register your name on the speakers list at the entrance of council chambers. I would like to also outline the process for the following for this public hearing. We will begin with a staff report from administration, also presenting as the applicant, followed by questions of administration from council. We will then call upon members of the public who wish to speak in support of the application, followed by those who wish to speak in opposition of the application. Council may ask questions of the public presenter during this time only. Participants will be called on to speak in the order they appeared on the registrar's list, starting with electronic participants, followed by in-person attendees. Registered virtual participants must ensure their camera is off and microphones muted except when it is their turn to address council. When addressing council, participants must clearly state their name and if they're going to speak on their own behalf or on behalf of another person or group. Also, the MD reserves the right to immediately remove any participants who are continuously disruptive to the public hearing, present in an inappropriate manner, including virtual attendees on camera and/or use inappropriate language. The applicant will have a chance to address and rebut any opposition to their application, followed with council will have the opportunity to ask questions based solely on the information presented during the rebuttal. Finally, we will entertain any final questions of council to administration before closing the public hearing. May I have a motion to open public hearing? I already did that. I did that a little too soon. Sorry. All right, I'm going to open the public hearing, administration's presentation. I apologize.
Nope. Administration is presenting for public hearing roadway closure and disposal bylaw number 1930, authorizing the MD of Bonnyville to close and dispose of by direct sale at fair market value a portion of a public roadway as described in Appendix A in accordance with policy number C-3A.022, disposal of roadways policy. The applicant has requested to close, purchase, and consolidate approximately 4.65 acres of undeveloped road allowance into their adjacent parcel. Bylaw number 1930 was given first reading by council on March 24th, 2026. Pursuant to the MGA, council must hold a public hearing before giving second reading to a proposed road closure and disposal bylaw. Following this public hearing, administration will forward the bylaw to Alberta Transportation and Economic Corridors for approval prior to being presented to council for second and third reading. A letter of concern was submitted as described in Appendix B. I can confirm that the roadway is originally a historical forced road allowance that would have connected Township Road 615 and Township Road 620, and the northern half was canceled in 1939. It is undeveloped and not anticipated to be required for future infrastructure, and all adjacent lands have current existing legal access.
Thank you. Any questions for administration? Councillor Palmer.
Just one question. Understanding that it's a forest road now kind of clears everything up. Just my concern was the adjacent landowner that had a concern that this would still be needed for future access. Have we had any discussions to find out where those concerns were based on?
It is my understanding that they did call in and they posed their question and it was explained as it's explained here, but they still chose to provide a written letter of concern.
Okay, thank you.
Right, any other questions? Any questions of the applicant? All right, at this time, I'd like to announce there's no written submissions that have been provided in the agenda. Also, there's no one here to speak for or against. Any other questions? Any other questions from council? Any final questions from administration? No. All right, I'm looking like I need to have a motion to close the public hearing. Thank you, Councillor Palmer, for making the motion that the public hearing for item 4.1 bylaw number 1930 road closure and disposal be closed at the time of 9:38 a.m. All those in favor, or I'll call for the motion. That's carried. Thank you. Thank you, ladies. Sorry, I did that one a little wrong. Is our delegation coming in today, or are they online?
They will be here in person,
Okay, thank you.
and they're scheduled for 10.
10 o'clock, yeah. All right, moving to correspondence and information, please.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and all of council. Administration would like to bring to your attention, we have 16 items. Administration will not be reviewing any of the correspondence itself, but we'd like to take the opportunity to bring forward the Director of Public Safety to bring information forward about our beautiful community.
Good morning, Council.
Morning.
We have literally hundreds of kilometers of trail systems within the MD, some paved and designed for pedestrian traffic, others more isolated and designed primarily for off-highway vehicle use. I'd like to talk with you today about the beautiful trail system that we have around the east side of Moose Lake as it ties into our recreational areas around the Visitor Information Center, Vesu Beach Campground, and our residential communities in the Moose Lake Peninsula. The image that you see on the screen is a map and a couple of the photos of the infrastructure that we have concerning our trail system. The dotted blue and orange line that you see is actually a 20-kilometer trail system. It's about 2 meters wide, and it connects all of these areas with the town of Bonnyville and our Visitor Information Center. Highway 20, this 2 meter wide paved trail system is over 20 kilometers long and connects these areas with the town of Bonnyville by passing beneath Highway 28 near the Vesu Beach corner, using a revolutionary under highway tunnel that demonstrates our innovation and the modernization of our MD trail system. From a public safety perspective, our role on the walking paths around Moose Lake is really about supporting safe, respectful shared use. These trails are an important community amenity. They're used by residents and visitors for walking, running, cycling, and simply enjoying the lake area. As use increases, we're seeing more interaction between different types of users, so our focus is on helping keep the trail safe and comfortable for everyone. In general, pedestrians remain a priority on the walking paths. People using bicycles or e-bikes are expected to travel at safe, reasonable speeds and to operate in a way that takes into account the trail width, sight lines, surface conditions, the presence of families, seniors, children, and pets. When e-bikes are operated responsibly and at an appropriate speed, they can be used safely on the trail system. Concerns arise when speed or manner of operation creates unnecessary risk or conflict with other users. Provincially, Alberta does provide a framework for what qualifies as a power bicycle or e-bike. In simple terms, that means an electric bicycle with pedals, a motor of no more than 500 watts, and electrical assistance that cuts out at 32 kilometers per hour. The province also sets some basic operating requirements, including a minimum operating age of 12, parent or guardian consent for riders under 18, unless they hold a valid operator's license. You must have an approved helmet, standard safety equipment as well, such as brakes, lights, reflectors, and a horn. So while the province sets the baseline rules, there is still an important local role for us in public safety in making expectations clear on shared community pathways like these. One of the issues that's been identified is signage. Public safety will be working with parks to review and update trail signage so expectations are clearer for everyone using the system. That should help reduce confusion, improve compliance, and prevent future conflicts between pedestrians and other users. Our approach will continue to be education first. Enforcement is available where necessary under applicable bylaws or legislation, but the main goal is voluntary compliance and respectful use of the trails. That said, our consolidated public safety bylaw is up for review and renewal in the fall, and we welcome any ideas or suggestions from council and their constituents on how we can continually update our bylaws to continue making our trail system as safe and enjoyable as possible. Thank you for your time, and I'll take any questions that you might have.
Councillor Crick.
Thanks for that update. Yeah, I just two things came into my mind as you were talking there. I guess two main points could be just share the trail. There's different types of users on it, and respect others. And as long as people can, I think most people are pretty good, and as long as people can agree with those two things and kind of follow them, then we shouldn't have any issues on the trails.
I hope so, and I agree with you. Thank you for your comments.
Any other comments? Councillor Palmer.
Through the reef to Louis, the question I have is, are we having complaints with motorized vehicles that should not be on the trails, such as skidoos, side-by-sides, golf carts? Do we have issues with them on our trail? What are the signage going to be addressing some of that?
Correct, yes. So we do have, under the Consolidated Public Safety Bylaw, we do already have, we offer off-highway vehicle users the ability to ride their off-highway vehicles in our ditches, in our empty ditches. There's some structure around that, and they're not to be riding on the paved trails. So while we do have we do allow their use, it's on the opposite side of the highway, and it's in the ditches that are not manicured. We do from time to time get complaints. I can tell you that with the late spring that we had this year, we had it's very easy to observe snow machine trails and the path that they leave behind in the snow is very easy to see. So we did have some people using the walking trails in the wintertime, less so in the summer, but we still do see it. One of the concerns that I've heard from our public safety personnel is some of these high-powered electric bikes that we're seeing. They're not just pedal bikes, but we're starting to see high-powered electric dirt bikes. In a way, it's good because they're not as loud as some of the other internal combustion engine off-highway vehicles, but at the same time, you can't hear them coming necessarily, and they're actually quite powerful. So we have to, I don't believe in duplicating legislation. If the province has something in place, we like to leave that and lead with that if we can. We like to fill in gaps with bylaw when we perceive that there are gaps through council. So I think moving forward, the big focus for us will be to increase the signage, to increase the presence of the peace officers in our walking trails so that people know that we are monitoring the situation and hopefully answering any questions and interacting with the users on a one-on-one basis as much as possible and spread the word.
Do we currently have signage that states dogs must be on a leash?
I'm not sure of all the signage. I know that our manager of protective services public safety, did do a comprehensive review of the signs, and he does have several recommendations that have already been shared with the Parks Department. When we're dealing with dogs, our bylaw is very clear that dogs must be leashed. when they're not on your private property. So regardless of whether the sign is there, the bylaw certainly supports that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Well, thank you for this report. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Information. Thank you. We have, council, we have 16 things in front of us. Does anyone want to talk on any of them? That charitable for Ronald McDonald, do we usually buy 4 for that, or anyone interested? 10.13.
Yeah, Reeve, regards to that, we all seem to want to be there, but somehow we never
nobody
make
comes,
it, right?
yeah.
So, you know, if there's 4 golfers that want to be out there, it's a great charity and great way to do some networking with our neighbors. But it's one of those things where if they're not, maybe just do a donation instead.
Okay. Anybody like to golf in that? Put in a team? No? All right, I just thought I'd bring it up. A good idea there, Deputy Reeve, we could send something or have a... All right, I do have a proclamation request here from National Public Works Week, and I'm gonna go with that right now. National Public Works Week, May 17th to the 23rd, 2026, rooted in service, powered by the community, Municipal District of Bonneville. Whereas Public Works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are virtual importance to sustainability and resilient communities, and to public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people in the Municipal District of Bonneville. And whereas these infrastructure, facilities, and service could be not provided without dedicated efforts of the Public Works professionals, who are engineers, managers, and employees of all levels of government and the private sectors, who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supplies, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. And whereas in the public interest for citizens, civic leaders, and children of the Municipal District of Bonneville to gain knowledge and maintain an ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in their respective communities. And whereas the year 2026 marks the 66th annual National Public Works Week, sponsored by the American Public Works Association and the Canadian Public Works Association. Now, therefore, be it resolved, I, Barry Klinsky, Reeve of the MD of Bonneville, do hereby designate the week of May 17th to the 23rd, 2026 as National Public Works Week. I urge all citizens to join with representatives of the American Public Works Association and the Canadian Public Works Association and government agencies in activities, events, and ceremonies designed to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees, and to recognize the sustainable contributions they make to protecting our national health, safety, and advancing all quality of life for all. Thank you. All right, we'll take a, oh, there we go. Monte, go right ahead. Would you like to say this all over again?
No, I'm just here in case there's any questions about
All right.
Public Works Week.
Give him some questions today.
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Yeah, you can give him a question, sure.
On behalf of administration, I believe we're going to have an open house on May 23rd. Is that correct?
Yes, so during the week, we have all kinds of communications coming out on our, on our platforms, and then it culminates on Saturday, 23rd, from 10 till 2 at the shop. We have a lot of equipment out there from a lot of different departments of the Public Works, including the Ag Department has mowers and garbage trucks and our gravel trucks, and it's usually a very good turnout, weather permitting, and there's hamburgers and everything else, so it's usually well received. So hopefully we see you all there.
And if I may, Mr. Chair, one of the best events I seen last year was they dumped a pile of sand, I believe, and they had several small toys, and the little ones got a chance to play in the sand and all that great stuff.
Yes,
Correct
we
me if
have
I'm wrong.
coloring books for the kids and all kinds of activities, and we get some beach sand there, and
Are we gonna have a dunk tank with the sea?
we're waiting for the consensus for the
All
votes
right.
to come in, yeah.
Without warm water, kind of thing? Yeah. Yes, go ahead, Counselor Amalia.
I'd just like to comment and give thanks again for what, well, especially transportation infrastructure has been doing as part of the Public Works. I know there's a lot more to Public Works than just that department, but throughout this last winter and spring that we've had, it's been very trying on all that department. But I would like to say that most of the comments that I've received, either public contacting me directly or just being out and about and talking to people, I've received a lot more comments of thanks for how well the work has been done than I've had about complaints. I mean, they'll complain about the condition of the road, but they'll be very thankful for how Public Works has taken care of it. So I'd just like to pass that on to not just TNU, but all the Public Works for everything that they have done for our citizens, especially this last winter.
Thank you. I'll pass it on to the guys. It's all them. We have a very good team out there, dedicated folks.
Yeah, thank you for that, Counselor Amalia. I think that's from all of us, but you're the one that said it, so thank you for bringing that forward. Yes, Counselor DeShane.
Yes, I just want to say how disappointed I'm going to be missing that day. I want to go play in the sand too with the trucks. I won't be in the area, but yeah, thank you for the work you guys do. And we had some other things going on, and most of us will be doing graduation and stuff like that. So we'll be missing a lot of the golf tournaments, and I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but, yeah, thank you for that, and looking forward to the next meeting with you.
Okay.
Another idea I had is like we could get a piece of machinery that maybe is not working very well and just put the CEO in there. Just something without a motor or whatever, and just let him pretend or something, because we don't want him to hurt himself or something like that. All right, can you arrange that?
We have that old grader sitting.
An old
little
grader?
Patrol there by the gate, yeah.
Okay, that, we could hook him up to that, eh? All right, thank you once again, appreciate it. Is our delegation arrived? Nope, don't see them. Yeah, I think we'll take a 5-minute recess because they should be here any time, and then we'll go into that delegation. All right, thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Councillor DeShane, for making this motion that council accepts the following correspondence as information, 1 through 16. Any discussion on this motion, council? I'm not seeing it. I'll call for the vote. That's carried, thank you. We're on to reports from council members. Councillor DeShane.
All right, start off with we had a meeting with BRFA. A few of us were there, and it was in regards to a new ladder truck equipment for the industry, heavy oil industry mostly, the plant sites and stuff, and we reported to them what was left owing to purchase the truck and the timeline on receiving it. And they're quite the units. The one that they have in the yard there is a beautiful unit, and they're going to get even a better one. It's pretty amazing what those things are worth. It's unbelievable. So I believe that unit was ordered. I'm not sure if it is or not, but I think.
I don't know that for sure. I should know that, but I don't know that for
Yeah,
sure.
I couldn't tell after we finished
Yeah.
that meeting.
I don't think it is, but it needs to be.
Yeah,
Yeah, Josh? Yes, yeah, I didn't think so.
gonna take they're not quite finished with the,
It's called the foam aerial replacement
yeah, right.
ladder truck.
Yep. And then we attended a Hearts for Healthcare in Coal Lake. It was a great event. Good to be part of that. And the invitations to some of the staff that was there, that was awesome to see everybody there. And they put on a good event. It was a little loud for us. We were sitting right under the speaker. I had to leave early with a headache. It was so bad. But it was a great event for the city and for their hospital. Also attended the Stukel School breakfast serving with fellow counselors and Reeve and staff and whoever else could make it. And it was a great morning and had a lot of fun meeting all the kids. And some were really hungry and some weren't, so it was funny to watch them. Then we went on to a internal industry road meeting with our MD committee and our staff, and came up with some decisions. We had to be made hard decisions, so I won't elaborate on any of those decisions at this point. But things has to be done, and we're looking for a little more help there. Next, attended the Licori Mother's Day breakfast at Licori Hall, and it was very well attended. A great crowd. We were almost short of food at times. There were so many people attending, going in and out. It was a great day for everybody. It was nice to see the Reeve and his family there, and grandchildren too. So never got to meet them before, so it was nice to see a little one. Other than that, that's all I have. Thank you.
Morning.
Morning.
So May 2nd, I went to Tim Hortons, got to decorate, I think 32 dozen cookies. Had icing all over the place, but it was all right, a lot of fun. Also on the 2nd, went to Riverhurst Hall. They had a bunch of local vendors set up and little trinkets for sale everywhere. Looked like a good turnout. May 3rd, went to Edmonton for aerospace. On the Sunday, we had a tour of NATE. Seen some new equipment that they have for 3D printing and metal. It's pretty neat, all mechanical moving parts and everything. They can pretty well do anything. And they told us about a big expansion. They're doing a 640,000 square foot building for trades. So it's gonna improve the amount of people they can go through the school time. Also took a tour of U of A, got to see the wind tunnel and a lab specializing in microwave, millimeter wave, wafers, I guess it was. How they can, all kind of computer stuff, out of my league, but very interesting. Edmonton International Airport, we were out there, got to see the simulators. There's 3 of them, I believe. So we're doing a lot of training in Edmonton, which I didn't know about. Also, we got the tour to drone site where they're doing freight with drones around the airport. Pretty interesting, but we didn't get to see them fly because it was quite the windstorm. They were shut down. And they also had hydrogen set up. So they had a car that was running on hydrogen. And they also have some airport equipment that they're doing experiments, blending hydrogen with diesel and getting good results out of it. And then we had a trade show with aerospace. I forgot my notes at home on that, so I'll let Ben explain everything there. He's probably got a lot more notes than I do on that, but it was very interesting.
From the look of his face, I don't know.
And also Ardmore Hall on Sunday for Mother's Day. Very good turnout there. That's all
Awesome, thank you. Deputy Reeve?
Yeah, good morning. So, yeah, we went, so the first one was so it's called the Alberta Aviation Aerospace and Defense Summit. We've seen a lot of our X-Wing commanders that were there. lot of movement in that world. It's crazy the amount of money that's going to be spent in defense and the Arctic North, and we're just right here. We're the last base that's there, so there's great opportunities to capture some of that money going forward. Even NATO is putting in lots of money up north because that's their first defense, right? If there seemingly any weak spots there, they're gonna see it up north. So yeah, the amount of spending that's going to be done is going to be crazy. So if they go to the 5% for Canada, it's going to be $120 billion spend that they're going to have here for Canada, which is amazing. So we went to Nate. Great to see a lot of upgrades, and they're really fast tracking a lot of programs for trades. We went to University of Alberta. So there's a gentleman named Ian Smith. He's the dean for applied research in defense, which I didn't know there was even such a program. Whoever watches Big Bang Theory, there's a lot of Sheldons there, and it was pretty awesome. These kids just totally geek out on anything and everything that's there. So they're coming out with these little sensors that are put on your body in a suit that don't rely on batteries. They use your electricity from your body to keep these things going. So it's totally wild, pretty mind blowing. But yeah, so one of the comments from Brian was, I can't imagine being tied up in a cubicle with no windows, but that's their game, and they're pretty happy doing it. International Airport, that was pretty staggering to see what kind of expansion is going to be done there. We've seen two simulators, 737 simulators. First one's in Canada, and done by CAE, and yeah, it was cool. We got to actually go inside them. We didn't get to fly them. I don't think they'd ever let us. So Brian even wanted to convince us to maybe buy one and get some testing here. So
Yes,
yeah.
good job, Ryan.
I'm just blaming everything on him. So, so it was pretty well. So every commercial pilot has to fly a minimum of 150 hours per year on these things. So these things are continually being used. When in the past, what happened is people have to fly down south, down to the States to take this stuff, but now it's right here. There's going to be the CFB, there's going to be a new base that's going to be built up there for for refueling only, because everything is there. So they're going to spend a pile of money there. And so the little drone stuff we seen, it was pretty cool. They did a little medical flight from there to a First Nations reserve for, equipment. So if somebody needs it right quick, they have that. So it was all pretty mind blowing, and a lot to take in. I just also want to mention that for trades, the provincial government has done a bursary program out there. So for $7,900 for a trade program for either 2 or 4 year program. So anybody that's looking for extra money, it's a bursary for northern. So from Highway 16 north, anybody can qualify for that. So it's something really good. City of Cold Lake was there. The colleges were there. So it was really, really good to see. Mental health day at Duclos School was great. Again, we were all there with the town of Bonneville, and it was good to see. And BRFA was represented there, and Reeve was there, and he had his moments. He was harassing us on the phone, but on the mics, but it was good.
That was a total sound-alike guy on that two-way radio. I don't know. Sounded just like me. But I have a question. So even if you fly a 37 every day, you still have to do another 150 hours on a simulator?
You do.
So you can fly one every day, but you still got to put another 150 hours. That's crazy.
Because it's controlled, and then all the specs are there. They can take down and see if you're good or not. Yeah, so you just can't get your license and say, okay, I'm good to go now. But yeah, they're pretty wild. They're $25 million a piece, and we were watching, there was one that was actually in use, and just how it moves is just, it's mind-boggling. Pretty neat stuff, so.
I think Mr. DeShane has a,
Yeah, on a similar note, but did you say 140 million or 140 billion?
Billion. Yeah.
Oh, is that going to be in, like, in the next 10 years or
It's gonna be probably the next 5 years.
next 5? Oh,
Give you another staggering number for NATO, which is I think there's 9 members on that. It's gonna be, I think, like 3.5 trillion. It's gonna be spent. Big numbers.
thank you.
Yeah, the radar system going in for Cold Lake would be the over the horizon radar system. Right now, we don't have. Yes. So right now, our radar system is pretty well obsolete. The US would be the first ones would be able to stop anything that would happen, and it would come out of, basically, I think they said North Dakota and Montana to intercept anything that was coming over the horizon and to blow up over top of us. So, we're,
that's reassuring.
that's why we're.
Tell them
gotta
to make
take
it little pieces.
We have to take steps to have our own defense.
Okay.
Blow it up over the Eskimos.
Yeah, I didn't sleep very good that night. There was a lot of stuff happening in our heads, like, am I gonna wake up tomorrow okay, right? So. but,
Yeah, that's a lot of information
yeah.
from you gentlemen.
And I just want to really, really thank the people there, I don't mean this in any bad way, but the nerds out there,
Yeah,
the engineers that are just on the next level.
Yeah.
And how they're thinking, so that the over the horizon, it's called radar, is, you can't actually, once you get up north, there's so many, I guess, it's like a magnetic field up there that doesn't let you see it. These people are figuring out how to counter, I don't know, but anyways, see?
yeah, no,
Not
it's,
too smart, but they're working on that, so you can actually see over the horizon to see what's happening, so it's
yeah,
pretty
just when
wild.
you think you know something, there's some
Oh.
people that are in the back 40 that know a lot more.
Yeah, when, like in the wind tunnel part of it, met this young kid, and he looked like a farm kid, right?
Yeah.
He was, he's taking his doctorate in aero, and I'm like, hey, where are you from? He's like, from Red Deer, and I'm like, Red Deer? He goes, yeah, my dad's a carpenter, my this and that, and I just got into school, and I really liked it, and I'm doing this, so I was like, well, I hope you stick around, right? Because people like that,
Oh, we
they're
need
taking their
people like that,
doctorate,
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, so it was crazy, so it was good,
Yeah.
really good.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Who wants to follow that up? All right, Josh, go ahead.
I'll be a lot shorter today. I was at the same industry aerial foam replacement meeting with Ed and the Reeve. It's for healthcare gala. I attended. I wasn't at the breakfast at the school. Everybody else was there. It sounds like I went to that day. Though I went to the Dragonfly Center. They had an open house in town. So they gave me a tour of the building. Do a lot of good work. It's unfortunate that we have to have that work in our community, but it's sexual violence counseling and helping people get over that stuff. So they do a good job there. And then we had our road use agreement meeting with our industry committee meeting from here. And I had a library board meeting last night, and that's it for me. Told you I'd be short.
Thank you. Caroline?
So I also attended the Mental Health Week at Duclos School. When they say you get pretty amazed at what comes out of mouths of children, it's very true. Very enjoyed the kids. They were very hungry. The little ones very shy. So it was a really good morning spent. On Friday, wound up going to Healthy Aging Alberta in Vermilion, a gathering for 2026. It was very heartwarming to know that everybody is worried about how we are aging to becoming a senior citizen and what needs to be taken care of. And Bashaw had a community video that they put together where a community was literally drying up. They were going to lose their school. They only had 895 population, and how this community rallied and worked to fight for this. They created a group, and the group petitioned the province. They got the school to stay. They got a emergent healthcare center brought in there with sharing agreements with doctors and nurse practitioners to spend so much time in a given month there. It literally turned this community around with the supports that they give the people all the way through to the aging process. And this gathering gives you collaboration with people who have tried things and have succeeded and are more than willing to share what they did so that everybody, across Alberta can start looking at these frameworks that work for their community. Went there with Dave, Councillor Dave from the town, as well as Connie Sergeson from Lakeland Lodge and Housing. FCSS was there. It was a group of very diverse. Even the Minister of Housing was also there. And it was very informative, and hopefully we can start looking, we had many takeaways, so hopefully with Lakeland Lodge and Housing, we can start implementing some of those. Went to the Bonnieville shooting range, ladies shoot. I got to shoot some very interesting guns, and the one that was my favorite was the Magnum 357. I have the target to prove. I had one bullet because I was scared it was going to literally lay me flat on my butt. And they assured me it wouldn't, and that is the one that hit the center of the target. So it's a very safe way to promote gun safety, getting very active members, very active club, well taken care of the site. They go all over Alberta to competitions. So it's not only golfing and pickleball. We could actually, introduce this kind of sport, and it's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun.
I'm not going to chirp Caroline no more.
No.
Like one shot and right down the middle. Yeah, forget that noise.
It was great. The people there were great. They had great instructors. I'm very happy I went. On Monday, we had the policing committee meeting. So the City of Cold Lake Detachment, they reported that total of persons crime is down by 51%. Our total property crime is down by 53%. Total motor vehicle collisions are down by 11%. Mental health calls were also down by 41%, which means 7 less calls this time last year, so it's a positive turnaround. Total criminal codes down by 55% in that area. Our peace officers had 99 traffic stops conducted with tickets and warnings. They spent 105 hours in crime prevention. The Bonnieville detachment had 559 files created. 107 were traffic-related investigations. 20 traffics resulted in charges, 2 impaired driving charges, 35 vehicle collisions, 21 vehicle collisions in the MD out of the 35. 46 of the 107 traffics were in the MD of Bonnieville. So overall tone that we've been receiving sort of consistently is our crime is on the downward trend in most areas. So that's very encouraging. So kudos to all the people that are out there that are working very hard to make our community safe, because it is actually showing in our stats that it's working. And I'm done.
Thank you. Councillor Malio.
Well, mine's along the same line as Josh's. Yeah. Well, I'm thankful that you guys made it out for that. There's a lot of good areas and initiatives that were covered in these. The kids at the school, mental health day there, the Dragonfly Center, thank you for mentioning that one, and especially the seniors housing and senior care in this area, definitely something we need to be working on in this area. I made it, as was mentioned, to the Cold Lake Health, I forget the proper title, but the health gala that they had up there. And yeah, it was a good evening, good visit with a few people, and other than a few problems with the sound system and how loud it was, yeah, it was a very good evening out there. I also made it out for a little while, snuck away from a course, and by the time I got back to on Saturday for the Emergency Preparedness Week, I was going to say public safety, but public safety put it on, but Emergency Preparedness Week, event that they had, open house held in Glendon there. And yeah, timing worked out good. By the time I managed to get away from all the conversations that people were trying to have with me, by the time I got back to the course, they were done and cleaned up, and I didn't have to clean up with them, so. But no, I'm thankful for you guys putting that on. That was a good event. I don't think it was quite as well attended as I would have hoped and expected, but just looking around and in there and just from hearing the comments, it was good, and people coming and seeing, oh, you know, it was a little more than just simply a fire department open house. It had public safety, it had search and rescue, it had even Kinnessy Ridge was there, so different things. It was good for people to get in and see that too, and thanks for leaving the leftovers behind. We've got we're taking part in the MD Ditch roadside cleanup this Thursday, and so we're starting that cleanup on Thursday with a barbecue, and you might have less ice cream left by the time that night's over. So yeah, thank you for putting that on. And yeah, that was pretty much it, other than, as I said, that event and a few others have been having some conversations, and I've already mentioned that a lot of those conversations are thank yous to the MD for how things have been going for a lot of the residents. So.
Thank you. Man, you guys do such a great job. I got to commend each and every one of you guys for your reports. They're top notch. I'm going to put my CAO on the, we had Alberta Munis with Councillor Sharoon and my CAO and myself. And what was the main thing we talked about there?
Thank you, Chair. Some of the big things we had when we discussed over breakfast was how do we, being the municipalities, the larger ones being the MDs and the counties, be viable with the town and understand that the town has different urgent infrastructure needs. Theirs might be roads and undergrounds, and our urgent infrastructure needs are bridges. Along that lines is how do we keep the communication straight and helpful? So when we go after rescheduling and reclassification of bridges, how do they support us? How do they work with their ministry and their key players to understand that it's viable for us to push one item through both sides, being the towns, cities, and all, obviously without the MDs? Because the key factor is there. If we have an urgency for X amount of millions, and in our case, some $90 million for bridges, 65 as we go through the stages, is if they're helping us, we can help them in the future. So the key factors and takeaways is aligning for the best part to inform the provincial government the factors that are affecting us.
Yeah, that was the first time I ever had a meeting like that with a gentleman. He came out of Calgary, I believe. Yeah, it was pretty good. Thank you for that update. I was also a judge for Science Fair, but I couldn't make it in Cold Lake, so Mr. Mott Jans, he did it for me. Thank you for doing that. Appreciate it. It's always a blast. I'm sure you had a blast there. Yeah, thank you for doing that for me. It was last minute, and he went and did it for me. Mr. Deschênes talked about the aerial replacement we had. Had a meeting with the mayor and the CEO of town of Bonneville, kind of starting to think about IFCFs and what they're going. Just a brief little meeting and just kind of touch a little basis. And on our joint use facilities, we talked a little bit about that. Someone mentioned Hearts for Healthcare. Yeah, it was a great event again. It's a lot of, like I always said, I said in my, I didn't even watch what I said there, but you know, we always, like Councillor Deputy Reeve Fidel just said, there's a lot of people out there that do a lot of things that, you know, we praise a lot of people for a lot of things that's very simple, but there's a lot of people that do a lot of great things out there, and we don't even know who they are and what they created. And sometimes we praise a lot of things that are, you know, it's not, they should be praised or whatever, but in a different way. There's a lot of people out there that do a lot for us. You know, I took my dad into the hospital last night, and the people are right on him and helping him, and these people work 24 hours a day there, like they're there to serve us. So we're very fortunate that we have that kind of, you know, these people that help us all the time like that. Are very fortunate. We were breakfast servers at Duclos School the other day. I don't know who that guy on the 2A was, but he sure sounded like me. I had Councillor Sharoon with me. He was really amazing putting the forks and plates together and giving the juice. Had a lovely lady beside me. She was the best pancake giver I've ever seen in my life, but I don't know her name. And then Baz Churko was our sausage guy, and we had some turkey sausage. I don't know if anybody else had any turkey sausage, but we did. And then we had a little breakfast with the staff. It was pretty fun. And then Baz goes, you know what, Barry, I think I left my hand warmers on. I don't know if my bike's going to start up. So I go, okay, I'll come out with you, Baz. And so me and Mr. Churko, we went out to his bike. He goes, oh, she's not going to go. So he put her up on the screen. We rolled her out, and I went from behind. And we pushed her down in front of the school, and he popped the clutch, and away he went. So that's pretty fun. So anyway, there's one thing about a bike, you can always start them if you have someone pushing, or a hill. Yeah, we had the policing committee there. Carol Ann gave a good update on that. And LaCorey's Mother's Day was a great success. I feel sorry for the cooks. They kind of were overwhelmed. I think the people that were coming in, I thought there was a funeral going on when I came to the parking lot. There was cars parked everywhere, so they really had to scramble. I'm sure, Ed, I don't even know where they got the extra food, so. I waited for 3 rounds. Yeah. Well, anyway, good job on them. That was a very, I'm sure, you mentioned Ardmore too, was a great success. So that's it for me. Thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
I just forgot to you a couple things. So Extreme Bronx and Bulls was this weekend, so Friday and Saturday. So Friday was the Bulls, and then on Saturday was the Bronx. I don't know if your grandkids slept that night. I don't know if you got the notes on that one, but
Yeah, I did.
the grandkids went into this cage. It was in the middle of the rink, and yeah, there was one bull that was sat right in front of the cage, and he was ready to go. And yeah, so talking to your daughter-in-law, she was like, I don't know if my kids are going to sleep tonight. But it didn't help that your son was taunting them. But anyways, that goes beside the point. And the Hearts for Healthcare, I had to miss it, but I was there in spirit. I had a text from my wife in capitals, stop bidding on stuff. I don't want to pick it up. So, but it was good. So thank you.
Yeah, at least my grandkids, they're out with the cattle all the time, so they got a bit of like, I'm sure if you never seen a cow or a bull before, they'd have been screaming pretty hard, but yeah. Thanks. Anything else? Appreciate those. Anything in camera? No? All right, well, guess we're adjourned then. Thank you, everyone.